Buenas, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Muy buenas tardes, son las 4, casi 4:30. Estoy... ahora no me interesa. Me anda haciendo hacer... ¿Qué? Porque estoy viendo mi transmisión en una mini pestaña de... Ok, sugerencia. ¿Qué dice? ¿La qué de qué? Dice, la tasa de bits de audio es inferior al valor mínimo recomendado. Una tasa de 128 kilobytes. Me chupo un huevo. Perdón. No. Malas palabras no. Juan malo. Juan malo. Juan malo. Ay, en fin. Estoy más solo que la una. Si alguien tiene ganas de venir a verme en directo, que venga. Vamos a pasar un ratito más en Stanley Parable. Quiero terminarlo de una vez. Les voy a contar algo que sucedió mientras voy abriendo el juego. Hubo una pequeña cuestión. Nada terrible. Depende de qué consideres terrible. Pero... no guardé la partida ayer. Pero eso tiene una razón. Y la voy a explicar en este momento. Déjenme que me escuche. A ver si me escucho en la transmisión. Pero... no guardé la partida ayer. Me voy a dar like a mí mismo. Pero eso tiene me van a escuchar doble, lo siento, perdonen. Listo, ya está. Voy a cambiar la pantalla para que puedan ver el juego. Porque no se ve el juego. El Stanley. Acá. Capturar. Ventana específica. Stanley. Hola. No se está viendo, ¿verdad? A ver. Ahora debería verse. En un par de segundos debería empezar a verse. Denle unos segundos mientras existe. Creo que le voy a poner en modo ventana, chicos. Opciones. Video. Resolución. Ok, listo, lo tengo en ventana. Lo jugaré así. Al menos así puedo ir revisando todo. No hay drama. O sea, a ver. Usuarios simultáneos. 1. Soy yo. Qué alegría. Vamos a subirle esto. A ver qué tanto puedo subir esto. Es un montón. Ok, así creo que estoy más que satisfecho. La pregunta es... Bueno, ya veremos. A ver cómo se ve esto en la transmisión. Ahora tengo que ajustarlo, ¿verdad? A ver. Denme un segundo. A ver. Transformar. Ajustar a pantalla. No. Transformar. Estirar a pantalla. Listo. Lo siento que tenga que estar haciendo esto en directo. YouTube no recibe... ¿Qué? No recibe suficiente video para organizar una transmisión fluida. Se producía almacenamiento en buffer. Ok. Vale. Vamos a comenzar la partida. Vamos a cargar. lo acabo de hacer esto. Nada, vamos a... Ahí va. Listo. Vamos a jugar este juego. ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal la tarde? ¿Cómo han estado? Yo aquí me traje un poquito de agua. ¿Quieren que ponga el monigote? No sé, para tener algo... Como quieran. Lo pongo. Si quieren lo pongo al monigote. Yo no tengo drama. Pero déjenme que lo busque. A ver. Vamos a ir por aquí. Me lo quedo cargando esta cosa. Descargas. Digo para que vean algo mientras hablo. A ver. Varios. No. Estoy... a ver acá. Acá. Aquí. Y vamos a capturar pantalla. No. Capturar ventana. Ya sé. Ok, vale. Ya, me parecía raro. Ventana. Esta. No se está... No estaría apareciendo. A ver. Ok. No, porque están viendo una pantalla en negro. Qué bien. Esperen. Denme un segundo. Creo que esto estaba... A ver, propiedades. Capturar cursor, no. Tal vez el problema es que tenga que... Está hablando el narrador. Stanley se quedó en una parte del juego y le gusta ver cuánto puede durar hasta morir. Estoy seguro que mantendré ese buen ímpetu. Observemos al genio trabajando. Por supuesto. A ver, narrador, dame un segundo, ¿sí? Gracias. Entonces tal vez no sea esto. Delete. A ver, vamos a capturar el juego. ¿Puede ser? Capturar audio de aplicaciones. Pantalla, ventana. A ver, juego. Buen monigote. Ventana específica. Permitir transparencia. Ahí está. Método de captura. Captura el cursor. No quiero que me captures el cursor. Ok, aceptar. ¡Ey! Ahí me están viendo. Al monigote. Va a ser más chiquito. Dame un segundo. Quiero que mire para el otro lado. Método de escala, fusión, transformar, ordenar. Girar. Sentido. Control girar 180. No. Qué bien. A ver. Rotar horizontalmente. Creo que era eso lo que estaba buscando. Pero ahora lo tengo que girar 180. Ahora sí. Hola. Muy buenas. Bienvenidos una vez más al directo. Ok, voy a cerrar acá esto de Steam. Las carpetas. Y vamos a jugar. Ahora sí. Voy a poner... espera. Voy a bloquear esto. Y creo que estamos. Sí. Supongo que sí. Juguemos. Ok, ahora sí. Miren, estaba pensando. Primero le voy a bajar un poquito el volumen a la compu. Yo me voy a bajar un poco el volumen. Y ahora sí. Perfecto. está más que bien. Vamos a hacer algunos de los caminos que creo que nos quedaron pendientes. Bastante pendientes.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
Vamos a
memo.
hacer, ¿saben cuál? El puzzle que está en la sala de todas las pantallas de los televisores. En vez de apagarlo,
When
vamos
Stanley
a
came to a
prenderlo.
set of two
Así que,
open doors,
let's
he
go.
entered the door on his left.
Esto es un poco lento, así que nada. Vamos a ir caminando mientras tanto.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
¿Cómo se
Coming
dice?
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Exactamente qué hacían. Esa es mi pregunta. ¿A qué se dedicaba esta gente?
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
Ah, ok. Bien, entonces como lo vuelvo a hacer de vuelta, o como lo estoy haciendo de nuevo, se saltea todo lo que ya vimos. Oh, cool. Me gusta. Bajemos. A ver qué nos dice ahora. Me da curiosidad. A ver, voy a poner esto en calidad de 720. ¿Cómo se ve la transmisión?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit
Se ve bastante
peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Ok, señor.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Ahora vamos a hacer esto. Y la idea es llegar a la parte de control mental y en vez de apagarlo vamos a encenderlo. Así que
the lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Oh,
what horrible secret did this place hold?
Qué
Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Muy bien. Qué buen narrador, señor.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on the screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Impressive, Mr. Narrator. ¿Narrator? ¿Cómo se dice narrador en inglés? ¿Alguien tiene idea? Mr. Narrator. Terrenator. Es el Terrenator. Terrenator 3000. Qué bien. Haciendo un ridículo en solitario. Si al menos hubiera gente para reírse de mí, sería genial. Gente que no conozco que se está riendo de mí por más que hago.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Deja de pasar.
No.
No. Se rehusó a creerlo. Él no podía aceptarlo. Su propia vida en control de alguien más. Jamás. Era impensable. ¿No es así? ¿Era siquiera posible? Había pasado realmente su vida entera totalmente enceguecido al mundo. Ah, Dios.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content.
Miren, acá el
walking,
puzzle es
eating,
así.
working, all of it monitored and commanded from
no
this
importa, estaba editando el video y
and as
estaba
the cold
buscando
reality of his
cuestiones.
past began to sink in,
Aquí está,
Stanley
mira.
decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
El 3 es ese de allá arriba, si no me equivoco. ¿O no? Creo que sí. A ver, subamos. No, es el 4. ¿Y cuál es el 3? A ver, acá atrás. Nope. Ok, a ver. Veamos. Ah, ese es el 3. Este es el 3. Sí. 3. Vamos a ver 4. Sube. Sube. Sube, sube hasta las nubes. No, ¿cómo era la canción esta del tren del... Ay, no, otra vez. No, el mouse. No he comprado pilas. Perdón. Lo siento. Y el 5. Y no pasó absolutamente nada. Ok, vamos a apretar on aquí. ¿Les parece? ¿Se cerrará? ¿Se cierra?
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Así es.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say...
Fuck!
2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
No llego,
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated?
No.
All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them.
Oh.
I erased them.
Los eliminé.
I turned off the machine. I set
Apagué
you
la
free.
máquina y te liberé.
Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so
amarillo,
much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
You have 2 attempts remaining. Tienes dos. Ok, tengo 2 intentos.
Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean,
Enter passcode.
Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room.
Ah, no entiendo nada.
These colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Okay, voy a morir.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine.
Pero,
I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending.
No. Ok, chicos. Estoy intentando leer también.
Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke.
Goodbye, employee
I will be laughing
427.
at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever up.
No. Fuck. No sabía qué hacer. ¿Qué se suponía que tenía que hacer? ¡Ah! Genial. Muy bien. Vamos a guardar. Genial. Muy bien. Todo excelente.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started. And if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Okay. Okay. What happened here? ¿Qué ha pasado aquí? Yo quiero apagar las... Ah, mira. Input reside. Perfecto. Podríamos intentarlo de nuevo.
Two open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Pero no sabría decirles exactamente qué se supone que hay que hacer. No vi ningún código, nada.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he would come into a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Que es llegar allí y en vez de entrar en las instalaciones de control mental vamos a ir hacia la izquierda que dice escape. ¡Ah! ¡Se puede abrir! Oh, ahora lo pude abrir. Oh, esto es nuevo. Esa es la imagen del juego, ¿vieron? Qué curioso. ¿Qué dice? Shapes. Club Mike James talks about his new box. O sea, exclusiva. Mike James habla sobre su nueva caja. Ok, vale. Subamos al ascensor. Ahora iremos arriba o abajo. ¡Oh! Musiquita. Dame un segundo. ¿El monitor te habla? Sí, está hablando, está hablando. Digo, porque no sé, estaba viendo la transmisión y digo... ¿Es el narrador el que está hablando de fondo? No lleva a ningún lado el ascensor. Ok, vamos a esperar aquí a ver si nos lleva a algún lado. Ok, narrador, di algo. Oh, me subió arriba. Ah. ¡No! ¡No! Otra vez no. Ok, bien. Creo que es muy troll este sensor. No se puede hacer nada con este sensor. ¡Ay, el mouse! Ok. Pues nada. ¿Qué dice? Indoors monthly. Indoors es casas, como... Las casas de la semana.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Por supuesto. Sigamos. Bajemos a nuestro propio infierno. ¿Cómo la están pasando? Oh, miren, hay alguien que ya comentó. Dijo, hola, bienvenidos. Soy yo. Bueno, no importa. Porque sí, estamos en directo una vez por año. Bueno, esta vez 2 veces seguidas, eso es raro. No importa. Si llegas a ver esta fracción...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Si llegas a ver esto alguna vez o lo que sea, vamos a subir aquí. Si llegas a ver esto en algún momento de tu vida o lo que sea, estoy hablando conmigo mismo. Eso en primer lugar. Y en segundo lugar, ¿quieres callarte? Ya escuchamos esto una y otra vez. Muchas gracias.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every
Y en mis
opportunity to
directos
turn
solamente hay 2
around and
personas.
get back
Yo
on track.
y mi otro alter ego. Hola.
At this point,
En fin,
Stanley
da igual.
was making a conscious,
no me hagan
concerted
caso.
effort to
Tengo
walk forward and willingly
mi otra
confront his
personalidad.
death.
Oh, caminemos a nuestra muerte. Sin duda. ¿Qué hay aquí? ¡Ah! Ay, esa sensación de caída libre no me gusta para nada, lo odio. Dios. Ok, loading.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
No. Adiós, mundo.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
¿Y esta narradora es la narradora del narrador? Ok, tenemos la narradora del narrador del narrador. Creo que sí. Oh, miren esto. ¿Qué es? The Stanley Parable. Ok. Oh, ¿y esto? Esto es nuevo, esto sí que no lo vimos ayer.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Stanley Computer. Office Layout. Es un mapa. Es una maqueta. Una miniqueta. Nature Paintings. Son todas las cosas que estaban hechas para... Los créditos, las puertas. Ok. Los gabinetes. Las computadoras las voy a apagar siempre. Puerta 001. The Office. The Office. Button Sounds. Ok. Los créditos. Made using source by Valve. Valve. Es como un museo del juego. Qué genial. Mind Control Facility. ¿Es esto? Narration outtakes. Kevin Browning, the voice of narrator, recorded dialogue for the game Rowley 3 several times over 2 years of the... Oh, Dios mío, 2 años de desarrollo. Ah, aquí hay algunos clips tempranos que no fueron utilizados en el juego final. Curioso. Employee Launch, Underground. Sí era antes. Escape. Está mejor ahora porque pareciera como algo más turbio. Entonces, ¿esto es el cielo o algo así? Office Clock. ¿Qué es esto? Freedom Ending. Oh, Dios. Las ventanas. Countdown Death. One of the death from early version. Freedom Ending. Monitor Room Elevator. Sí se veía antes. Esperen un segundo. Terminemos de ver esto y vamos para allá. Game Design Mockup. Esto era como antes, como lo tenían pensado. Y después dijeron, no, mejor hagámoslo normal. Las oficinas. Las oficinas de Stanley. Cómo fueron los diseños. Cool. Curioso. Miren, acá está la bandeja. Acá aparece una bandeja roja. Cosa rara. A ver. The Office. ¿Se podía bajar acá? The Cargo Lift. ¿Qué es? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Mira, cada vez que tenías 15 segundos para atender. Eso lo vimos ayer, lo del teléfono. Desobedecer, obedecer. Claro, esto es como va cambiando a medida que uno va tomando decisiones. Staircase. Una ventilación. Mantenimiento. Esto creo que no lo hemos visto nosotros. Meeting room. Sending. Dios, esto es larguísimo. Esto no lo hemos visto. This is the first one we released in May. Okay. Viejito. The game is now paused. La pantalla de pausa. Creo que terminamos. Puede ser. A ver. Nos faltó aquella zona y seguimos, chicos. 3 visualizaciones. ¿Alguien entró a ver el directo? Bueno. Gracias por haber estado y haberte ido. Mira la fotocopiadora. Warzone. Una zona de guerra. Sí, ya estuvimos aquí. ¿Y esto? How do you make a JRPG? How do you make... Are you a rock? Emails. Ok. Ahora sí, nos vamos. Hemos visitado todo esto. Vamos a la exit. Oh, parece que hay una persona. Bienvenido. O bienvenida. No sé quién eres. Estamos jugando aquí.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Estamos jugando a Stanley Parable, un juego viejito que ya todo el mundo lo ha visto, supongo, pero yo no. Así que estoy en eso. On, off. Off.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
¿Cuánto se necesitan
No,
entre ellos?
perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Ajá, a veces
But
estas
listen
cosas
to
no
me.
pueden ser
You
vistas.
can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose.
A ver, si le doy a regresar al menú y vuelvo... A ver, vamos a guardar. Ok, atrás. Y ahora salgo. Vuelvo a entrar. What happened?
Don't let time choose.
Fuck. Eso fue... Oh, hola, soy nuevo. Isaac Enrique Machi. Hey, bienvenido. ¿Cómo estás? Recién veo tu mensaje, lo siento. Hola, Stanley. ¿Morí? ¿Como tal? ¿Por qué ahora hay una pantalla en negro? Bienvenidísimo. Muchas gracias por ser parte de este directo. No sé, estamos ahora en directo. Esta es la segunda parte o el segundo día en el que estoy en directo transmitiendo Stanley Parable. Y por lo que veo... Qué extraño. A ver si yo le doy a... Decía darle a salir, pero... ¿Has jugado Isaac Stanley Parable? La partida se encuentra en... No dice. Vamos a volver a comenzar la partida. A ver qué pasa. Ok, estamos aquí.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
La línea es distinta a lo que viene diciendo de siempre, así que eso quiere decir que hemos tomado una decisión correcta. Así que continuamos. Por lo que estábamos viendo ahí dentro del museo del juego que hicieron los desarrolladores, hay una ventilación a la derecha. También hay un logro de tocar 5 veces la puerta 430, si no me equivoco. ¿Sabes qué? Voy a entrar a la derecha.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
446.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
45. No está. Hasta recién estaba. No sé qué pasó, pero fue XD. Ah, sí, el que se enoja si no haces lo que te pide. Sí, bueno, evidentemente. Ok, aquí estamos.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ahora no me acuerdo qué otras puertas había por acá. ¿Hacia dónde podía ir? Vamos a ir a la zona de mantenimiento. Igual hay alguna puerta que podamos elegir aquí.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
A ver, mouse, no me falles en este momento. ¿Por qué no puedo bajar?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else
soy tu enemigo, sí, por supuesto. Oh, tenemos otra persona en directo. Somos 3 personas contándome a mí, por lo tanto.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform.
Dame un segundo, señor narrador, que tengo que desactivar algo que es incómodo. Ahí vamos.
And plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
And the end is never. The end is never. El final nunca llega. Sobreescribir, sí. Ok, veamos qué nos dice ahora.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
No está... Ah, mira, aquí está. Awaiting input. Input receive. Ok, por cada reinicio... ¿Y si reinicio ahora? Ok, vamos a probarlo. Quiero ver si puedo enviarle varios input a eso, porque como se va llenando entre input y input.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
¿Dónde estás? No está. Ah, mouse. Ok, bien, perfecto. No, no está. Bueno, no importa. Continuemos. A ver qué nos depara el destino. 4:17, 4:15. ¿Por dónde vamos? ¿Derecha o izquierda? ¿Qué dicen? Ustedes me guían. Va con algo de retraso la transmisión, así que mientras espero, voy a cantar una canción. ¿Derecha o izquierda? Miren que si no hago un tatetí. Ok, bien, izquierda. Vale. A ver, 4:12, 4:11.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he... Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs
¿Podemos
to
subir
his
o
boss's
podemos bajar? En
office.
este caso voy a bajar a ver si encuentro alguna otra puerta, otra decisión que podamos tomar. Ah, mouse.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone
Este final ya lo hicimos.
his boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
This is all a
What a
dream.
relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
What the fuck?
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming
somos
about
dos
a voice
personas. Hola.
describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
Bueno, ahora este
And while
señor
he
está...
thought it all very odd and wondered if this
Estamos
voice spoke
andando
to
en
all people
círculos
in their
sobre una
dreams,
sala que se
the truth
repite
was that,
una
of
y
course,
otra y otra y
this
otra
was
vez.
not a dream.
Ah,
How
y mi
could it
mouse se
be?
para. Por
Was
supuesto.
Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take
Y
responsibility
ahora,
for himself?
nada, el
Stanley
narrador se
is as
enojó y
awake right
entonces
now
nos está
as he's ever
haciendo
been
una
in his
sarta
life.
de
Now, hearing
tonterías.
the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain
Sí,
beyond a
todo
doubt
esto
that
es un
this was
sueño,
in
por
fact a dream.
supuesto.
Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself
Cerró
to wake
sus
up.
ojos.
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back,
Muy
the
bien.
fresh air of a world outside this one.
Sí, por supuesto.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Y estoy en el mismo puto lugar. Perfecto.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is
Alguien que me
Stanley. I have a
despierte.
boss. I have an office. I am real.
Soy real.
Please, just
Soy
someone
real.
tell me I am real.
Soy real.
I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Perfecto. Muy bien. Y todo se puso oscuro.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Mariela.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself,
Perfecto, ahí estamos
and then
nosotros.
collapsed dead on the
Somos
sidewalk.
personas
And although she would
muertas.
soon turn to go
Muy
call
bien,
for an
hemos
ambulance, for
enloquecido.
just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring
Claro,
down
sí,
at
en
the
realidad
body.
esto es
And then she
sonambulismo.
turned and ran.
Y era un sonambulismo tan intenso que terminamos en la terraza del edificio en donde trabajamos porque estábamos durmiendo en el trabajo, algo que no se debe hacer. Y bueno, de casualidad terminamos allí en la terraza y terminamos saltando y morimos. Jay, no se puede hacer nada con esto.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that.
Esto no me lo esperaba, fue sin querer.
This couldn't go anywhere except
No quería hacer
badly.
esto.
The thing to
No.
do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing
¿Por
will
qué?
break me. In here I can be happy
Isaac.
forever. I will
Okay.
be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer.
Este final no lo
Now it's
tenía.
even closer.
Rayos.
Here it comes.
Ah, y morí. Perfecto. Salvando su vida, por supuesto. A ver, no voy a cerrar de vuelta. ¡No! ¡No! Otra vez. No.
But Stanley simply...
Volver a comenzar la partida. No voy a comerme todo el diálogo, señor. No, gracias.
Already this was uncomfortable. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Bien, entonces déjame cliquear la puerta 20 veces. Quiero el logro.
I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause.
50 clics. ¿En serio?
Yes, almost.
Pedazo de desgraciado. Bien. Si así vamos a hacer las cosas, así serán. Narrador. ¡Quiero el logro! No me lo vas a dar, ¿verdad? Muy bien. No quiero aturdirlos con el clic del bendito mouse.
No,
así
no,
que...
I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go
Sin
all the
importar
way,
lo
no
que
matter what the
cueste.
cost.
Bien.
Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417. ¿Está lloviendo? Está lloviendo. ¿Alguien se dio cuenta de eso? Está lloviendo. Vaya. Ok. Puerta 417, ¿seguro? Ok, a ver, veamos. Esta es nueva. No me lo esperaba. 420. Creo que la vi. Acá está. Ok, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Now, go click a few
6,
times on door 437.
437. ¿Y dónde está esa puerta? 437, 427, 428. Ok, veamos. 437. ¿Estará la máquina del input? No, no. Ok. 437. 16. 15. Acá
When
están las
Stanley came
40.
to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
413. 12, 11. Oh, rayos.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, coming...
No, voy a volver a empezar porque quiero hacer...
Stanley had never seen the office this... Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks.
Di lo que quieras. Voy a obtener ese logro. Y no solo voy a obtenerlo, sino que me vas a dar otro final, narrador. Sea lo que sea, me vas a dar ese final. Ok, bien. Vamos a estar aquí un buen rato,
I'm
chat.
still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
50 clics, por supuesto. Venga, vamos. Aquí, ahí los llevas. 50 clics. Venga. ¿Qué tal la semana, chat? ¿Cómo va ese miércoles? ¿Ha sido un miércoles productivo?
I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Esta es la 437. 417. Ok, venga, vamos a la 417. 417. A ver.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437. Vamos a la 437. Venga, aquí.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
10 clics. 415. Ok. 420. 416. 415. Ok, 10
Now,
clics.
back to door number 437.
Por supuesto. Haré lo que me digas, narrador. Quiero ver qué hay detrás de esa puerta. Siendo sincero,
Let's see.
no lo
How
sé.
about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
¿Crees que estamos llegando a algo?
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Este es el 419, dijo, ¿no? A ver, esperen que va algo atrasado. Ok, denme un segundo. Que tengo acá la transmisión. A ver. Estoy en el escritorio del empleado 419, ¿no?
Yes!
Ah.
This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
419. ¿Sí, no? Perdón, que me llegan mensajes de WhatsApp y no coordino. 416, sí, a ver, 416. ¿No está por acá? 417. 416.
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Ok, no te emociones tanto, narrador.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very
Logro
proud of
obtenido.
how far we've come today.
Yes.
Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
¿No puedo abrirla? Déjame abrir la puerta. Oh, ok, bien, sigamos, chat. Supongo que es lo que hay. Solo un mero logro. No importa. Seguiremos adelante. Como grandes guerreros que
When
somos.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
A
left.
ver, déjenme pensar. Estoy pensando en las puertas que había. ¿Qué posibilidades teníamos? Déjame pensar. Acá yendo hacia la izquierda podemos bajar, pero tenemos el final ese que es cerrado. Allá podemos bajar también. Podríamos intentar detener, pero yo no sé el código. No importa. ¿Saben qué? Vamos a ir por la derecha, que hay un
This
par de
was not
finales
the
un poco más
correct way to the
interesantes.
meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Igual alguna puerta se abre. No creo, pero bueno.
Wow. Yes. This
Sigamos.
room.
Hey, bienvenido, chat. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Estamos jugando Stanley Parable.
Left.
Vamos a ver qué finales tenemos por aquí. Bajando por acá. No me acuerdo qué había. ¿Qué había bajando por acá? Metámonos.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Adiós, narrador. Perfecto. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo está, chat? Bueno.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about.
Ah,
and
este
get
final
even
creo
further off
que
track.
más o menos.
So now, in order to get back, he needed to go from here it's
¿Hacia dónde tengo
left.
que ir? A la izquierda. Bien, vamos a la izquierda.
Oh no, it's to the right. My mistake.
Ok, a la derecha.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
Chicos, acá se pone
It's
más
clearly...
fumada todavía.
Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
A ver, cuéntame. Oh,
Let's
God.
see, we went down right, left, down,
Derecha, izquierda,
left,
abajo,
right.
izquierda,
Yep,
derecha.
yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
No puedo hacer nada acá, ¿verdad? No. Bien, bajemos.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the
Reiniciar
beginning.
el juego.
And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Reinició el juego solito, ¿eh? Lo hizo solito, el señor.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ok, vamos.
When Stanley... Wait, what?
Oh, rayos.
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere.
Genial. Ahora no hay dos
Okay,
puertas, sino
It's
1,
an
2, 3,
adventure.
4, 5, 6,
Come,
7.
Stanley. Let's find the story.
Ok. Veamos qué pasa por aquí. ¿Qué hay aquí? Veamos. Oh. Ok. Salgo por aquí. Ah. A ver, veamos. Esto es todo un laberinto.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Genial, me reinició de vuelta el juego. Perfecto. Muy bien. Haz lo que
All
tú
of his
quieras.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong.
Ahora no hay puertas.
It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Por supuesto, volvamos. A ver, ¿qué tenemos por aquí? Oh,
Aha!
ok.
I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our
Revisemos
steps.
nuestros pasos, por supuesto. Oh.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
¡Gané!
You put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good
Por
job.
supuesto.
Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time, I have to restart.
No. Ok, bien, no tengas en cuenta ninguna opinión mía.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Solo seguir la línea. Bien, sigamos la línea. A ver qué pasa. 4B, 437, 4B5, 4B4, 4B7. ¿Puedo subir? Ah, no.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that
la
existence,
naturaleza
right?
de la existencia es
Now, if my experience
subjetiva.
of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct?
Acabas de licuarme el cerebro.
That got a bit weird back there. Well,
Vas
I'd like to
demasiado
apologize.
rápido, lo siento.
Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to
Un poco de
lighten the
música
mood.
para entonar el ambiente. Ay, Dios. Lo siento, no quiero reventarle los oídos. Ah. Por favor, narrador, para con esta música. Sí, muy bien, muy adecuada esta música.
Cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely. Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell
No,
with it.
espera, no
Restart.
reinicies, espera. Bien, perfecto. Gracias. Narrador.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious.
Algo atrevido, algo
this all
misterioso.
sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
La 437. Ok, veamos qué se esconde más allá de
yes,
esto.
this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley.
Gracias, Mouse.
I'm
Voy
ready
a
for it.
buscar pilas en algún momento. Por supuesto, Mouse. ¡Arr! Si estuviéramos jugando otro juego de verdad que nos iría muy mal.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Ok, no le hago caso a la línea. Sigamos caminando por este bucle infinito.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Que camine en círculos.
Okay.
Ok.
So I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere the place where
Estamos
we're
tratando
trying
de llegar,
to go,
debe haber una
there must
puerta
be a
reversa que
reverse
lleva
door that
aquí.
leads here. And that in turn means that our
Y eso en
destination
turno significa que nuestra
corresponds with the
destinación
counter-inverted
corresponde
reverse
con
door's
el
origin.
origen
So starting
contrainvertido
from
de
the
la
right,
puerta
let us
reversa.
ask, Well,
Así
taking
que
the right
comenzando por la
door
derecha,
lead
pero
us to
¿por qué
where we're going.
ir por la
And
derecha
since
nos
the
llevará a
answer
donde
is clearly
estamos
yes,
ahora?
then by all accounts,
Entonces
the
por todos los
door on
medios
the
la puerta
right is
derecha
the
es la
correct one.
correcta.
Another victory for logic.
Otra victoria para...
Come,
¿Qué?
Stanley. Our
¿Alguien
destiny.
entendió lo que acaba
Oh,
de
wait.
decir? Creo que no. Bien, perfecto. Oh,
Oh, hold up. What's this?
el final de
The
confusión.
confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall.
Hola,
Well,
señor Pip.
who consulted
Hola,
me?
señor Pipillín.
Why don't I
Terrible
get
lo
to
que
decide?
pasará en la
Why
noche.
don't I
Escala
get a say
Richard
in all
no,
of this?
no
Is it
voy a
really?
decir.
No, it can't be.
6.9.
I
Terremoto.
don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's
Bienvenidos,
going on.
bienvenidos.
I don't
Muchas
want to be
gracias por
trapped like
pasarse.
this. I won't
Muchas gracias a
restart the
todos.
game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't.
¿Qué pasa
Do
si
it.
yo reinicio el juego, narrador?
And the timer stopped? Does that mean did we do it?
Y
Did
si
we
lo
break
hago
the
yo
cycle?
por mi cuenta, narrador, ¿qué
Whatever it is that
dices?
made this schedule. How would we even know?
Espera, voy a guardar, ya que estoy. Guardar.
Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
¿Qué pasa si reinicio yo? Me da
So,
curiosidad.
okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite
Vamos a volver a
sure if
comenzar
we're
la
in the
partida.
destination or the journey. Though they're always
¿Qué
saying that
dicen?
life is about the journey and
Reiniciamos
not the
antes de que
destination.
lo haga él.
So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Oh, fuck. Se reinició solo. Bien. 4:27.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, tazas de colores y muchos sabores. Ok, a ver. Está por acá la... Ah, mouse. Gracias. A ver. Veamos. What I'm looking for.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
8, 9, 10.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Creo
The
que
lounge was
puede que haya
sublime,
alguna
a work of
forma-
art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace? Its subtle
Tal vez
charm?
el techo.
No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker.
Quiero café, dame café. Café, 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 con
But
leche,
eager
café.
to get
Eche,
back to business,
échale
Stanley
leche
took the
al
first
café.
open door on
No,
his left.
hombre, café, 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 con leche, café. Chocolate con empanada, le gusta a usted, le gusta a usted, le gusta a usted. Y así sigue la canción. Cafá, cafá. Chácara, cafá, casta, la casta, la gasta. Vamos para acá.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every
Toda
decision by
decisión
yourself.
por mi
I'm
cuenta,
not asking
ya
for
veré.
me, I'm asking for her.
Me refiero a
This
ella.
is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's
Lo vuelvo
been
a subir.
waiting.
No pasa nada, ¿verdad? rayos. A ver, veamos. Bueno, supongo que muchas opciones no tengo. ¿Qué pasa si no contesto? No voy a contestar. Porque ya lo hicimos una vez y ahora voy a no contestar. No voy a tomar el teléfono. Digas lo que tú digas, narrador, no lo haré. Estoy tomando agua. ¿Y si lo desconecto?
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness.
Acabas de desconectar el
just
teléfono.
Unplug the phone?
Yes.
No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check.
Ah, ¿no sabías que esto era una elección?
No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it.
No es posible.
How had I not noticed it
¿Cómo no lo había
sooner?
notado antes?
You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken.
Eres una
This is why
persona
you've been
real,
able to
así
make
que lo
correct and
sabes.
incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please
Observa
observe this helpful instructional video.
¿Qué?
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous.
Las elecciones son lo
For
mejor de una
example,
persona
in
real.
this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue
Genial, ahora
talking.
tenemos
Turn to a
propaganda
partner and practice saying, my goodness,
del
is it
gobierno
4:30?
intentando
I'm
decirnos
supposed to
que
be
se
having
supone que
a
es una
back,
elección
sack,
y que
and
no.
crack.
Practice. ¿Práctica?
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8?
Los
Less?
profesionales
If you begin to
médicos
wonder if your choices
recomiendan
are
hacer
actually
8
meaningful
elecciones al
and whether
día.
you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Ok, la habitación se está deteriorando porque hice algo que no correspondía. Vale. Oh. Ah, no puedo saltar. Rayos. Ok, bien.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Rayos. Oh, fuck. Bien. Ok. Vamos a casa entonces. No tengo posibilidad de hacer nada. Así que nada, sigamos, continuemos. Este final es nuevo.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
Te sigo.
All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
¿Qué hago? ¿Le hago caso o voy a contrasentido? Quiero seguirte haciendo bosta la vida.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Fuck. Ok, vale. ¿Y si vuelvo a entrar? No puedo. Ok, bien, volvamos. Se distorsionó todo. Qué bien, qué bonito.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work?
Déjame jugar.
No. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down.
No.
I have to.
No vas a pagar el juego. Fuck. Bien. Perfecto. Muy bien. Fantástico.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
Cállate.
Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect.
Eso.
I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. Just behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
¿Entramos a la izquierda o a la derecha? Solo por esta vez voy a entrar a la izquierda.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Oh, no se puede abrir esto.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ok, esto es distinto. Ok. Esto ya no es el baño ejecutivo. Curioso. ¿Esto se puede abrir? No. Oh,
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night 115. ¿Cómo se supone que tengo que hablar?
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the
Night
receiver
Shark
right there on the wall.
115. Night Shark 115.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story.
No
This
puedo
is a
hablar.
crucial step.
¿Tú crees que si pudiera hablar lo haría? No me llevas escuchando ni una parte
You're
del
not going to do
juego.
it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better
Siquiera
things to do.
pensaste que
I
podía
asked
no
you for
hablar.
this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
Cobarde. Oh,
When
fuck.
Stanley into a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
The
I
end.
need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to
Thank
me?
you for playing
Can you hear me?
Stanley Parable.
Is everything all right? Stanley, this is
Créditos.
important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision.
Ay, no,
It
me hace
cannot
sentir
exist
muy
without
mal.
you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice.
Ay, no,
That's all
pobre
right.
narrador.
I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do.
Ok, pues nada, aquí estamos viendo los créditos mientras el narrador se lamenta y se desespera porque no puede ver a Stanley tomar una decisión. Oh, se reinició. Bien, perfecto. New ending. Vamos a guardar. Guardar. Curioso.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Dice que los mensajes grabados son peligrosos y que si creo que estoy escuchando un mensaje grabado, por favor terminarlo de manera inmediata, que la sobrecarga de información podría ser demasiado. Ok, bien, pues sigamos, supongo. ¿El narrador? ¿Qué habrá pasado con el narrador? ¿Por qué no habla? Es extraño, esto es weird. This is weird, narrador. ¿Qué hay en esta caja blanca? Blanca, escúchame, amarilla. Ah, Dios, es muy resplandeciente. Ok.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Por supuesto. Más que excelente. Veamos si
Stanley was
podemos
so
tomar
bad
alguna
at following
decisión.
directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stan. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Que te dé una chance. No hay chance, güey. No hay chance, no hay chance. No hay chance. A ver, veamos. 2v5.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
El otro día caminamos por la azul y nos mandó a la roja, así que vamos a ir a la roja a ver qué pasa.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show
Okay.
you.
Una solución. Bien. Perfecto. Muy bien.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just... No, wait. Where are you going?
Ay,
no.
no, este final
Stay
de
away from those
vuelta.
stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset.
Lo siento, voy a reiniciarlo. Pobrecito. Ya hemos visto este final, chicos, y no hay mucha más selección. Creo que por hoy estamos.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
En fin, creo que por hoy estamos. Así que nada. Nos vemos. Voy a ver si quedan algunos finales por completar. Imagino que sí. Y haremos alguna run. No sé dónde la gente considera que el juego se termina realmente. Porque, bueno, recién vimos un final que parece ser el más elaborado. Pero la verdad no sabría decirles dónde termina el juego. Así que voy a estar investigando y luego vemos qué tal. ¿Ok? Así que nada, like, favoritos, suscríbanse y hasta la próxima. Chao, chao. Dios, vamos a terminar el directo. Por supuesto. Aquí. Tenta la transmisión. Bye, bye.